Hi everyone. I recently finished reading Medical Apartheid, The Dark History of Medical Experimentation on Black Americans from Colonial Times to the Present by Harriet A. Washington, Fellow in Ethics at Harvard Medical School, Fellow at Harvard School of Public Health, and a Senior Research Scholar at the National Center for Bioethics at Tuskegee University. This book stunned me as much as it disturbed me. I knew the Tuskegee syphilis study would be addressed, and was aware of general mistreatment in hospitals and prisons, but I had no clue how pervasive and cruel medical experimentation on African Americans has been throughout the history of the country. A lot of the content in this book was hard to believe, and I would be saddened upon confirming what I read after checking reliable internet sources. I'll try not to go into too much detail on the most gruesome parts in particular, but here's just some of what the book covers. A breakdown on how pseudoscience evolved to conform to the preconceived inferiorities of blacks. Breakthroughs in the field of gynecology by experimenting on slaves. Blacks being denied anesthesia due to perceived pain tolerance. Thousands of graves being dug up for autopsies. An African being used as an exhibit at a zoo. An expansive look at the Tuskegee syphilis experiment. Bioweapon experiments being done by the CIA and Army on black public housing. Radiation testing on blacks. Prisoners being paid to undergo dermatological experiments. Dangerous medical drugs and technology being experimented primarily on blacks through deceptive methods. Harmful stimulant experiments on children all the way up to the 1990s. American scientists' involvement with apartheid South Africa. That's just some of it. As for the general readability of the book, the medical writing was quite stimulating without requiring specialized knowledge to understand. The book gets a little more technical towards the last 100 pages, but by then most readers will be so invested that they'll wish to continue. This book was one of the most disturbing that I've ever read, but the history is very important to be aware of, and I would recommend it to every adult. The only silver lining coming from it is that the author acknowledges that racial misjustice in medicine is lessening as we head into the 21st century, but everyone must still be vigilant. If you'd like to stick around, here are my top 5 notes from the book. Number 1, from page 50 and 51, Cesar and Primus. In 1751, a South Carolina slave doctor named Cesar developed a successful snakebite antidote. In the same time period, another slave named Primus invented a rabies treatment. Number 2, from pages 59 and 60, Thomas Jefferson's vaccination experiments. Jefferson injected 200 slaves, many of which were his own, with an experimental smallpox vaccination. Only after it proved successful did he administer it to his own family. To avoid political blowback, he publicly referred to the slaves as the members of his family. Number 3, from pages 78 and 79, Ota Benga and the New York Zoological Gardens. In the 1890s, a Congo pygmy named Ota Benga was trafficked and exhibited in the Bronx Zoo, enraging both black and white citizens. After a lengthy public debate, he was ejected from the zoo. Attending college and finding factory work, depression caused him to commit suicide by gunshot. Number 4, from page 271 onward, the Fenfluramine Child Aggression Study. In the mid-1990s, children as young as 6, and primarily black, were experimented upon with the dangerous stimulant fenfluramine, also known as fen-phen. Some parents reported an implied coercion in order to get them to agree to participate. And number 5, from pages 360 through 365, Project MK-Naomi. In the mid-1950s, the US Army and CIA were raising mosquitoes as biological weapons, releasing them while harboring infectious diseases on a minority housing development called Carver Village. After decades of research by a Scientology group, their report was published and covered by mainstream magazines and newspapers. Alright, and that was my look at Medical Apartheid by Harriet Washington. I hope this book caught your attention. Once again, it was extremely disturbing and saddening to read, but the only way to make sure things such as this don't happen again is for everyone to be well educated and aware and watchful. And I'll be back soon with another video. Thank you for watching. Bye.